What's going on, fam? It is your girl, Biola Karani, here with a new YouTube video. What is going on, fam? I hope y'all are feeling good in your bodies. I'm excited to be coming here with these 4 immunity boosting restorative yoga poses. But before we get into that, can we just admire the velour suit? This is a velour jumpsuit. It's not sponsored, but it's everything. It's cheap and chic from Fabletics, and I love it. She is giving, honey. Quick reminder, if you are new here, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. If you are interested in continuing to explore your yoga journey with me, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that this is a video that it should continue to promote, and it also helps me to know what videos y'all are really vibing with. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So y'all, the Rona is coming. The Rona, she coming. Okay, there's been a surge and a lot of things are going around. There's different variations and things like that I'm sure y'all have heard. I know y'all are all taking care of yourselves. However, there's some other ways that we can really begin to holistically care for our bodies from the inside out. So I wanted to share 4 immunity boosting yoga postures that you can do somewhat basically anywhere. Maybe not want to do it on the street. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. No judgment. We all know that yoga supports our mental health and helps reduce stress. However, the practice of yoga, specifically the practice of asana, builds an internal heat, almost an internal furnace within the body that helps regulate so many things, but specifically the mobility enhancing postures and the heat itself helps to oxygenate the blood while stimulating our digestive system. Now, this really helps the body in degeneration, so it reduces degeneration throughout the joints, the muscles, and the bones, while reducing inflammation in the muscles. Now, the more contracted the muscles are, the more acidic the body can become. It creates an environment for acidity, and yoga is really phenomenal because it completely kind of fleshes that out through the process of detoxification, which creates more immunity within the body. So let's get into some of these poses. So the first pose is actually not a pose, it's more so a practice. The practice of pranayama. Prana means life force, yama means control. And so life force is translated as breath in yoga. So breath control or breathing practices really support a healthy immune system. Now, I don't mean breathing like you do like every day. Most of the time we're not breathing to our full breath capacity. We're breathing more short spastic breaths. But intentional pranayama, intentional breath meditations or breath practices that you are doing can really help boost your immune system. They not only help us self-soothe, but they help temper or calm our nervous systems, which helps our muscles to fully decompress. And as I said before, when the muscles decompress, they release any type of toxicity that the muscles are holding on to when they're contracted or tight, which creates an acidic environment in the body. So the more that we can exercise intentional breathing when we feel stressed or at any given time or moment, the more the body relaxes and it creates an environment for more prosperity. Pose number 2 is Matsyasana, also known as fish pose. Now, fish pose is a really deep heart opener. And what's so rad about heart openers is that they increase our lung capacity and breath elasticity. So going with pose or practice number 1, pranayama, the more you can lengthen the muscles along the ribs and the pectoral muscles along the chest, you can take in more breath. More breath intake supports the body because the more you breathe, the more breath you take into your physical vessel, the more your muscles take in. So when you breathe, when you inhale, your muscles actually become buoyant. They're like a balloon. They fill with air. And then when you exhale, they contract, they sink. they kind of get smaller. So when your breath is short and spastic, your muscles also are short and spastic. They're letting in so much breath. The more we can enhance our breath capacity here, the more breath we can intake, the more we can temper the nervous system, calm the body down, activate our parasympathetic nervous system, and we create a more prosperous environment because we're holding on to less toxins. Specifically, the muscles don't have to hold on to as much toxins because they're not always in a contracted state. Matsyasana heart openers are really phenomenal about that because they lengthen, Matsyasana specifically, it lengthens not only your chest, but your side body ribs, which are also part of what help you to take in more breath. So we don't realize how tight these parts of the body get, like the side body ribs. We only kind of think about the chest. Matsyasana gives us the ability to completely open up through the heart and the side body. It's a really great posture to do when you just have a few minutes to spare and you're just lying down. You want to grab a block, draw it between your shoulders. If a block is uncomfortable, you can always take a pillow and cultivate the same thing and just kind of rest there, opening up through the chest and cultivating some deep pranayama, so deep breathing while you just kind of rest there. Pose number 3 is Viparita Karani, and y'all, don't come after me for my Sanskrit. If you've heard about our yoga teacher training, the Kin 200-hour yoga teacher training that I created and I'm the director of with some other phenomenal facilitators, we got our Sanskrit teacher on lock, and she's always correcting me. Y'all don't come for me about my Sanskrit. I know it ain't perfect, okay? Viparita Karani means or translates as legs up the wall, and legs up the wall is my favorite restorative yoga pose. It's super phenomenal at boosting our immune systems because it flushes out the blood in the body. Specifically, when you are sitting for long periods of time and you're not having a lot of movement, the blood stagnates at the ankles and the heels. And that can lead to like swelling in the knees, swelling in the ankles. When you turn your body upside down in an inversion, like legs up the wall pose, which is a really restorative and supportive inversion, you're basically flushing all of that coagulated or stagnant blood that's just been hanging out in the ankles. You're drawing it down to the hips so that when you stand, you're bringing fresh oxygenated blood to the muscles and joints. You're also decompressing the muscles that have stiffened from sitting and the joints. You're decompressing those joints as well by turning your body upside down and just moving the blood that has just hanging out there, not moving. So if you have tight knees or ankles, especially after a long flight, or you've been sitting for a long period of time, try legs up the wall. It's a really great posture. More specifically, it improves healthy blood flow, as I was sharing, and also nerve connection by creating some space in the joints from the inversion itself. So when we're sitting or standing, gravity is kind of pushing us down. When you turn the body the opposite way, you're creating the opposite effect and creating some space in between those kind of tight, locked joints. Basically what you want to do is you want to bring your booty as close to the wall as you can, kind of tick-tock your feet up to the heavens so your heels are over your hips. You can draw the hands up and over the head, or you can just kind of hang out there with the legs alongside the hips, and just once again finding deep intentional pranayama right here. And just rest and kick it here for a little bit, y'all. You can do this at home, at the office. You can do it lying down in your bed. This pose is definitely a must-have. So our 4th and final restorative yoga pose that helps boost our immune system is Uttanasana. Uttanasana, which also is translated as forward fold. Now, forward folds are, specifically Uttanasana is a really nice forward fold and very gentle because you just stand, hinge at the hips, and draw yourself forward. It decompresses the spine. It also helps relieve nasal congestion, which can also impact our breath capacity, how much breath we can comfortably take in. The light decompression of the belly from the forward fold, where you're kind of pinning your belly, is a small movement, a small action rather, that also stimulates digestion. The more we can stimulate a healthy digestive tract, the more opportunity we give our body to flush out toxins, to flush out things that the body doesn't want to hold on to that can create an environment of acidity. As I was saying, the less acidic the body is, the more of a prosperous environment you're creating within the body. Now, to practice Uttanasana, as I said, you can stand and just fold forward at the hips. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, which are hamstrings are located at the back of the thighs, or you have tight calves, bring something, utilize a block or a book to bring the earth to you so that you're not straining so much. Also, this is great if you have a sensitive low back. Now, you can just kind of hang out here with a slight bend in the knees. That's going to help support your low back. And just hang out here for a few rounds of breath, finding that intentional pranayama as well. And just allow yourself to rest here. These are 4 poses that you can do throughout your day to really begin to cultivate a prosperous environment within the body to support building a healthy immune system. If you found this video helpful, y'all, go ahead and give it a like. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow your girl on the gram at Yoga by Biola. Also, I look at yoga as a ritual that I, do every day. And there's so many other rituals that can support us on our journey of non-performative living and give us the space to be who we are when nobody's watching. So I created a guide featuring 7 rituals you can do each day of the week to support non-performative living in a way that feels good for you. The more we can intentionally cultivate ritual practices, the more we can embody non-performative living and cultivate a space for us to be ourselves and be who we are when nobody is watching. If you're interested in grabbing that guide, y'all, click the link below to get your copy, and I will see y'all right back here with a video very soon. Be well, y'all.